And what I think is going to occur, what I think I'm seeing now, and I can be quite wrong, my interpretation could be wrong, but nonetheless, I think right now I'm seeing a move whereby they're going to do something like this idea. And the idea is that the United States would create Treasury-issued gold certificates, gold-backed bonds, and that they would be payout in gold. Okay, so this is an interesting idea because it solves so many problems for the Trumpitos, for the Trump guys. If we had Treasury bonds that were backed by gold, and not simply backed by gold, but did a payout in gold, they could have, say, let's just deal in $100, okay? So they had a $100 Treasury bond, and you would pay them $100 right now, and they would agree to give you 1/33. This is a nice number for them. They like the number 33. That's the number of spinal sections and a bunch of other esoteric crap, right? So a $100 Treasury bond would yield you, let's just say it was an 8-year bond, it would yield you 1/36 or 1/33 of an ounce of gold. Ounce of gold. Okay, so they would give you, in 8 years, they're going to give you 1/33 of an ounce of gold for every one of these $100 Treasury bonds that you purchase. Well, right now, $100, right now gold is $3,300 per ounce, okay? And that's just a number we're dealing with, $3,300 per ounce. So, there we go. So anyway, so the idea is that in 8 years, all right, so right now, that's 1/33 of an ounce to equal that $100, right? But in 8 years, that might be 1/700th of an ounce because of the escalation of the price of gold. If gold is now $3,300 an ounce, but in 8 years, maybe it's going to be $82,000 an ounce. So they would have to kick out only a little tiny bit of gold, right? And the government would have that gold. And so they would pay out in gold because in 8 years from now, you don't want the Federal Reserve note because it's worthless. Because in 8 years from now, it'll take 82,000 of them to buy an ounce of gold instead of the 3,300 now. And by paying out in gold, they don't even have to fuck with the Federal Reserve. They can issue Treasury notes themselves that are backed by that incredibly small amount of gold that you would recover by taking that $100 Treasury note in there. And this accomplishes a couple of things. Not only does it fund the government, not only does it eliminate the Federal Reserve from all of your calculations in the future, because you're marginalizing them, you're kicking them off to the side by dealing in gold, not their ferns, not their Federal Reserve notes. And also the appreciation over the Federal Reserve note over that period of time means that you're paying out less gold then than if they had purchased that gold now. But it's going to be more valuable then, and this is a safe way for that corporation to hold gold without actually holding and having to store the stuff and pay for it and assay it and all of this other shit, right? So it's a transfer of parts of the complexity back to the government that take it away from you, and in exchange, you're no longer writing the Federal Reserve note down to hell. And you're in fact writing gold the other way. And this would allow them to issue constitutional money in the form of a paper note that was backed, or that was tied to these Treasury bonds, which are an explicit payout in gold. As long as they pay out in gold, this whole scheme works, right? And so in 8 years, when you want to cash these things out, they're going to actually give you gold. You'll have to convert the gold to something else in order to roll it over again. And you'll be in the same scheme again. So you'll be getting depreciating amounts of gold as we go forward, but the value in fern notes from today is going to escalate rather seriously. And you could do this with crypto as well, right? You can do this with Bitcoin and so on. So I think I'm seeing qualia that they're going to go with something like this, that there'll be some form of this, this kind of a scheme that will enable the government to fund itself and to sop up all of these illegal off the books dollars that have been created by these fake money machines that the Doge guys keep finding in government agencies where people are paying vast quantities of millions of dollars and creating them just like that, right? So anyway, so this is going long enough. I'll upload both of these to BitChute, and then just to make sure everybody